Is this thing on?
Oh, look, it's on, but that's a different voice I'm hearing today. That's right, kids. Uncle Jeffy is not here, so he has no control today, and that's kind of delicious and fun. Welcome to another episode of Uncensored Radio Live. I have a rogues gallery of supervillains here with me today. We're going to start off with the always lovely Luke. How are you?
Oh. Hi. I look deathly in here, actually, but I'm okay. I'm good. I'm ready to get into our hot topics of the week.
They are steaming hot this week, my friend. They're steaming hot.
Filthy hot.
Filthy hot. The vivacious Vera, how are you?
I'm good. I got a couple of days of medical testing here, but I'll be fine.
Oh, well, it's good that you're alive, Vera.
I am alive.
We have Sandy joining us. How are you, Sandy?
Hello. I am well. I've spent my past 3 months just working most weekends and totally not practicing my self-care. You know how we had the self-care segment and I said social work is known for being shit at it? Well, that's me. My brain is like scrambled eggs. So you guys need to carry me today.
That's okay. We're just happy to have your lovely cartoon face with us. It makes me happy.
Oh, look, it's an improvement on the real thing. So
one day we will see what Sandy actually looks like.
The identity will be exposed.
And we have a special guest panelist today with us. This is Mike D. Say hi to the folks, Mike.
Hi to the folks.
So you are associates with the lovely Vera, I believe.
That is true. Not that she admits to it often.
Look, she doesn't admit so much. She doesn't admit so much. She's a very, very private individual, isn't it? Isn't our Vera?
Hi, Mike.
Oh, look. Hi, Mike D. You got a fan already, Mike. You're in.
And Joel, you've left him speechless. Look.
Did I do that right, Joel?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on there.
I hit hello in the chat section. I assume that's what I was supposed to do.
Oh, that's all right.
Nah,
you live, you learn. Right. We like to fly by the seat of our pants.
I'll send him a psychic
message. That's all good. So, as you can see, the ever overpowering presence of Mr. Jeffrey Emmett is not with us today. He is taking care of business. He's actually on his way back to Missouri, right?
I know, right? Why would you go back to Missouri?
I don't know. But we had a very interesting we had a very interesting episode last week, didn't we, Vera? So
yes, it was like madness descended.
Look, it was kind of like herding chickens, but you know, whatever. How was it in the studio? Was it nice to be all together for once?
It was very nice to be all together, and I hadn't been in Jeffrey's living room since before his marriage ended.
Neither his
I love how we bring that up whenever we can.
You know how Jeffrey failed at marriage? That's cute. We're horrible, horrible people, and we're all going to hell. But at least we'll have company, so it's all right.
Well, why? Before you worry about it.
Oh, whatever. Look, if half the people that are supposed to be going there are going there, I'm going to be in great company, so I'm not that worried about it. You know?
Right.
Anyway.
I'll bring the popcorn.
Ooh, it'll be ready to go. It'll stay warm too. All right, guys, let us not delay any longer. Let's jump straight into this week's
hot load of hot topics.
Now, Mike, that was actually Vera as well. That's Vera's sexy phone voice. So if you're ever concerned, I'm gonna play it again actually, so you can really listen to it. Here we go.
Hot load of hot topics.
Is that really you, V?
It's me.
That's our Vera. No, that's Kat. Kat tried. We couldn't get Kat to do it, and because she was flying around as she is. Hi, Kat. We miss you. Blah blah blah. But we're like, Vera, you give it a go. And then it was literally on the first show that we had the title concept up. And it was like, you know what? That's a keeper. That is a keeper. It's like, oh, okay, Vera's in. So I think you've had a secret past at one of those 1-900 numbers, haven't you,
That's
Vera?
right. I was a
You're
phone
just
for
not
sex
telling
girl.
anyone. She was a naughty girl with a bad habit back in the day.
Hey, Vera, can't get tough during COVID. At least you know you've got it all back.
But do those things even exist anymore?
No. I don't
Remember
think
those
so. Yeah.
talk to me?
Oh, I want to talk to you all night.
I don't think they exist anymore, right? Who uses a
They don't-
landline?
They don't advertise.
The internet ruined it all, man.
They just get online. Yeah, you get on. Hi, Ace. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I feel like you get online anyway, and 700 pop-ups come for sexy singles near you. It's like, oh, okay, great.
Oh, they've
I don't
given
want
up on me. Even the
I
pop-ups
started
have up on me.
Single seniors.
Oh, you know your life's over when it's sexy senior singles. Oh,
Yeah.
alliteration and assonance though work. That's
Well, how do
great.
they go? It's like, want to throw a hip out? Or
Do you have a prescription for Viagra and a non-atrophied vagina? Ooh. Sexy. That's just sexy, really, isn't it?
I think we should move
I
on.
feel sick. I just feel sick. I'm like, why the fuck did I come on here today?
Look, we are not shaming sexy seniors. You get your freak flag out, you do what you need to do.
Seniors
I
are
don't
the
know what to
highest-
jump into because
the
these aren't
highest
very
growing
sexy.
demographic for sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah, they've all got the clap. They've all got the clap and they're scared the Kaiser's coming back. But Trump's gone now, so it's okay.
Alrighty, well,
Ooh. Look at Luke. Oh, steering away.
I'm
There's
just
not
thinking,
There's not very
what
sexy
can-
topics, so I'm just
no,
trying to
let's
jump
just do
into
the dead
something.
dog.
Yeah, look, we'll talk about Jill and Joe Biden's dog Champ died at the White House, guys.
No.
Look at Champ. He looked like he was a good boy.
He was a good boy. But what happened to Major? Where'd Major go?
No, Major's the rescue dog, right?
Yeah.
Which is the one that got kicked out for eating a kid?
It was Major.
Probably
He
that
bit
one.
Somebody. I don't think he bit a
Yeah,
kid. I
Maj-
think he bit a Secret Service guy.
Oh,
Major's the rescue dog, right? He's the good time face of New America, and Champ's just the dog they've had for 700 years that got schlepped along to the White House and just pissing everywhere,
Oh.
trying
Well,
to find the
Dad,
gold,
but
the
I'm
hidden
not
gold.
sure. I'm not sure why the passing of a dog was world news, but hey, these are the times we're in.
Do you know why it's world news? Because Trump didn't have a dog the entire time he was in the White House, and he was the first president to not have one. Correct, Vera?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was. Well,
Well-
other presidents have had cats, but he was the first
Yeah.
president to not bring a pet to the White House.
I was just thinking
Melania.
Melania might qualify.
Yeah, Melania. We were all going for the Melania joke.
I
It
was
was
thinking
Oh.
of Stephen Miller, my
Trying to
son,
work it in
pet
somehow.
low-hanging fruit.
snake. Stephen Miller, the pet snake.
Oh,
You know what I was
Yeah.
Speaking of pet snacks,
I
No.
thought it was Cindy Irwin that died.
Bindi Irwin.
How did I get
Irwin,
that?
you
And I
are
was
very
like, really
confused.
ferociously. I was like, what happened? That's wild.
well, actually, Sandy, we do have a story about Big Irwin. That's
I know,
a good
right?
segue.
I wasn't gonna rush straight off that because I think
Oh, sorry.
even though everyone's like, oh, why does that even matter? I think you've got to realize that to a lot of people, pets are a big part of their life. Like, I was devastated when my cat died. Like, I was like I thought I was gonna be fine. I'm like, yeah, everything's okay. I'm gonna be great. And then I stayed in the room when they put her to sleep, and I was like, they made me walk out of the vet with an empty cat carrier. I was like, this is horrible. And then I went home and
I'm sorry,
had to
I'm
pack up the
laughing.
bowls. had to hang up the bowls and everything. It was actually really traumatic, and I think we like underestimate how traumatic losing a pet can be, especially if like you've had them. Like I had that animal for nearly 14 years. Like,
Oh
it's
no,
like,
when my dog died, I cried for almost a year.
Yeah. It's just like any other attachment, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, they're deep and they're profoundly, I guess, important to us. So it makes total sense that, yeah, we grieve. We go through those natural grief and loss cycles. So very normal response.
look, I'm glad Sandy's here to validate my feelings. This is good. This works. You need to be on the show more. Just for my ego, Sandy. Just so Jeffrey doesn't go this bitch and just like
Dismisses
Well,
your
do that
broken
anyway.
heart.
I'm getting my boss isn't here to abuse me today. I feel very powerful. Ooh. I was going to
Luke's
change the
gotta be
logo
most
to.
Liberated. Luke's the one that takes the weekly.
Yeah, but Luke hasn't been here for a long time.
That's
I've had to
true.
do it for a little
Yeah.
while. So
When
Luke,
he's
he
had
I'm glad
enough
that
shows
Luke's
his
back.
face, Jeff makes the abusive joke.
Yeah, it's just usually has to go at me, but I don't really give a fuck, so it doesn't matter. Okay, well, Sandy and Luke are trying to give us a segue, so we'll talk about Bindi Irwin, you guys. So Bindi Irwin doesn't like her grandpa. It is no secret that the Irwin family have an estranged relationship with Bob Irwin. Bindi claims that her engagements with her grandfather have been psychologically abusive. Publicly, he continues to claim that he wants to spend time with us, while privately, my entire life has been psychological abuse from him, Bindi has written. Bindi has also stated that Irwin had financially supported Bob since 1992. Oh, that's
Who wants to touch that one first? Andy,
sounds like dirty laundry, right? Like
Well,
Who
the
the hell is the
airing of-
grandfather?
he was
Uh,
just Bob Irwin.
he was
Steve
Bob
Irwin's-
Irwin. So Bob was Steve's dad, and Bob kind of taught Steve everything he knew. So I think it's kind of a bit of without
And-
Steve in the picture, Bob's been forgotten.
I think
And-
what's happened, Bob and Steve started the zoo, Australia Zoo, together. And then obviously Steve married Terry and they became quite famous with their Crocodile Hunter series. And I think after Steve passed away, from what the general consensus is that Terry wanted control of the zoo and sort of got rid of him that way. I don't know how it is. I'm not part of that family and, you know, politics are what they are, family. That's what a lot of people believe, is that Terry wanted him out.
The interview that Bindi gave the New York Times, she said that he's returned many gifts over the years, that she would send him gifts and cards and they would come back unopened, and that every time she tried to spend time with him, that he would be verbally abusive to her. That was what she said to the Times. They didn't mention the starting of the zoo or any of that history, but we Yanks don't get that because it's not our zoo.
But I think it's
I've
as
never
I
even
said.
heard of Bob Irwin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's just bad blood, and Sandy, I'm sure that bleeds into a lot of different places in real life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, it sounds to me like there's been some massive changes in that family system. I mean, you have the typical outsider approach, if you look at it like that, with Terry, who's come from the US and, you know, she's come and she's married Steve, and then the Irwin franchise starts and, you know, Bob's feeling very much on the outer. And this is so classic you see a lot of times in, you know, family therapy where someone has felt as if though they've been ostracized, and sometimes they can start, you know, seeing things that may not necessarily be there. So they get a bit of distorted thinking, and then this creates wedges between people and definitely, you know, destroys relationships. So it sounds very much like unfinished business to me, and changes to that family system that Bob may not have been ready for. And now he's projecting that onto Bindi. So, yeah, difficult.
A lot of people are saying comments on this article is that they also believe that Terry has poisoned the children and turned them against Bob.
This is what I
Bit
was
of a
about to
reach.
say. It smells a bit Meghan Markle-ish, doesn't it? This dirty
Blame
foreigner
the
has come
Americans.
into our land
Blame
and
the
turned our
Americans.
children. Blame the Americans. Look, I think Terry Irwin has been in the Australian popular culture since I was a child. Like, so that's what something years. So it's not like she's not a new fixture. I just don't think he necessarily enjoys not being, because when Steve was around, he included his dad in a lot of stuff. If there was obviously a frosty relationship between dad and the wife, then without Steve there, that there's no buffer. Those personalities have to go up against each other. Like, we've all seen that. Like, there's just some personalities that do not mesh at all, and obviously the Irwins are part of it. But Bindy's actually taken a break from social media after this story came out because of the little bit of backlash that she got for it. So she said she's taking time to focus on her child, which is what her father always did and what he would have wanted.
Which is smart. She stepped back from it because we know how toxic online. We're going to talk about some comments on one of our articles later. It can just get very nasty for no reason because a lot of people are just keyboard warriors. They think they can just say what they want to somebody they've never even met and think they're involved in all their business because they're celebrity, whatever. And it just becomes nasty and pointless. And he's done the right thing by just going, you know what? I'm done with that for now.
Yeah,
And
sometimes you just have to step back from that.
Otherwise, you end up like Jeffrey's family. Anyway, he's not gonna watch this. watch him just appear in the middle of the show like he does sometimes when he's not on. It's like we're under his eye. But anyway, we will talk about that later too. We'll get the sad stuff out of the way, guys. Gunther from Friends, James Michael Tyler, has just revealed that he is, trying to fight stage 4 prostate cancer. Now, I was thinking Jeff was going to be on, but he was actually part of the reunion. He was meant to actually be a bigger part of the reunion, but because of his treatment, he wasn't actually allowed to travel. I know this, like, he's only like a side character on the show, but a lot of people are taking that kind of hard.
Well,
I'd like to know how the hell you end up with stage 4 prostate cancer. I mean, prostate cancer is the cancer you want to get.
I've got a lot to say about stage 4 cancer. Continue.
No, prostate cancer.
He had several appointments that were canceled because of COVID. And so he had a screening appointment that was delayed and then another appointment that was delayed. So he's been staying home and all of a sudden it's stage 4. That's what happened. Yeah.
The same thing happened with my dad though. He was unwell. Probably should have gone to the doctor a lot sooner. But one weekend it just shit hit the fan, and then literally on the Monday it's like, okay, this is stage 4 bowel cancer. Oh shit, radio crap.
I think men are terrible for not attending appointments. Yeah. I'm guilty of it too, and I work in the health field. Sure, Mike, you're the same. I see a lot of the people. I haven't been to a doctor in 2 years, and that's just the way it is. Like, and I find men are reluctant to delve to what's going on. They sort of just think, "Oh, it'll go away."
Well, I think part of the thing was that his medical hospital or his doctor were canceling these appointments to keep numbers down. They kept saying, "Oh, it's nothing yet. We can push this guy out," and they pushed him out too long. And there's actually been a number of people in the United States that have had this experience and have had cancers, get out of control before they got to the doctor because COVID shutdowns, and how do you count this? Do you count this as a COVID death? Because it really is a COVID death. Without the COVID, they would have made all those appointments.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, prostate cancer, that's like hitting the cancer lottery. If you're going to get cancer, give me prostate cancer. You know what I mean? It's probably the best one that is utterly survivable. That's, of course, assuming they catch it and you make appointments, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Oh, I've muted myself. Again, stuff like that.
Steve.
Stage 4 cancer doesn't just happen overnight either. Obviously, there's been a road to it that there is, like Luke said, a very worrying trend. Sandy, especially with your field, males are very reluctant to ask for help for anything. So, is this a surprise that this happens?
No, and it's unfortunate, isn't it? They're socially, I guess, conditioned not to help seek in not just health related, but mental health. So many areas, they're supposed to just, in Australia, the common kind of term used is to have a teaspoon of cement and harden up. So, that's something that with male clients in past work has been very difficult to just so much time spent just breaking down that barrier with them. So, it's no surprise. And I think so much more needs to be done in this space to destigmatize help seeking.
Well, certainly in mental health, it's very stigmatized. There's lots of people who don't want to come in and don't want to be labeled crazy. And, it's just your mental health. No, I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm happy to hear that caveman attitude isn't pervasive just in the United States, and that you guys suffer from it as much as we do.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, his Ace makes a good point. Personal opinion, men don't like to discuss sexual and mental health problems with healthcare professionals. Very true.
It's true.
Yeah. No
That's
one
why
likes
we have
to admit
initiatives in
weakness.
Australia, like the Men's Shed. We have, a setup across the whole of Australia where men can go to designated sheds in our towns and, meet and talk. And it's not in a pub, which is unfortunately another issue all in itself. But pub culture is a thing where men do actually air out, some things that have been challenging for them, difficulties. But the Men's Shed Association, I'll give a shout out to it. I've referred clients there. They've loved it. It's a great initiative. And, if you have one in your area in Australia and you're going through some challenges at the moment, get in touch, reach out to Beyond Blue. They can tell you details. So absolutely.
All right, we're going to jump into a big one. Speaking about being out of touch, this article kind of blew up on our page, and I didn't even realize until last night when Luke had brought it to my attention. Any second now.
Yeah.
So, it always takes out high school cheerleader with Down syndrome excluded from team photo. Morgan Arnold, 14, from Utah, came home from school feeling deflated and confused why her school had chosen to publish an image in the yearbook that omitted her. Morgan's sister has since gone on record stating that the pictures were taken with Morgan, but a choice had been made to use the image that excluded her sister in the yearbook as well as on social media posts. Shoreline Junior High School has responded saying the image selection was a mistake and have also requested that the threats directed at other cheer teenagers cease. So obviously they're hunting cheerleaders at Shoreline Junior High. But, I mean, come on.
Well,
I can't even start with that. Vera, go.
If they did it, whoever photoshopped this person out of it is a heinous asshole. It's that simple.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It could easily be that it got in by mistake. I will grant them that in this, in the name of being non-partial. But whoever did edit the child out is an asshole.
Well, I think they did photo with and without her.
Why?
Which is strange too.
Why?
Exactly.
Why would you do a photo without her?
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's the original article that was first circulating had mentioned that they had done a separate photo with that included her, and that was the one they went with. It all seems really mean and malicious. I don't know. Why would they do that?
And insidious too. I would have more respect for the school and the community if they didn't allow her to join the cheerleading squad in the first place. But to make her be the token inclusion and then not put her in the yearbook, it's doubly evil.
Well, the comment section's blown up, and there's this older woman on there that's more or less saying that she doesn't believe that this girl should be on the team because this is a serious sport and this is more or less she's more or less saying that she's making a mockery of it all,
Yeah,
And
here's the
she's
comment.
been-
Here are the comments.
They've
I
ripped
really
her to
can't read
shreds.
that.
Okay, I
Luke,
can.
do you
I
want to
can see
read?
it.
You go for it.
Okay, this is the original commenter. The carrots complain, bet they're paying me so their girls are training and serious athletes, so I understand a bit why. Let be real. She is not able to compete. Maybe it might work if she wore a chicken suit or something.
Oh my god.
First play.
Fucking
What?
hell.
You can wear a chicken suit on your profile picture. There's actually like 50 comments there. We just picked
Yeah.
some of them.
It
Is
got
this
very
on your
intense.
page? Is this
This
on
is
your
on our
Yes.
page?
page.
Yeah.
Let's go have a look. This is vile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Look,
guy
it's,
then
look, to be
responded to
fair,
her.
to be fair, Sandy, there's only one person that is being vile, and then the rest of the people are quiet.
Everyone's polled on.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, so
Luke.
this guy said here, kindly go fuck yourself. This girl is not a pop or a thing. She is part of the team. She's a cheerleader, not the fucking mascot. Hasn't she been humiliated enough? The fuck is the matter with you? Chicken suit? Do you even read the disgusting things you write before posting it on social media? Jesus fucking Christ. Your comment is appalling. Change your mindset or stop talking publicly. Then someone told her she's embarrassed herself and be quiet. And then the lady said here, not every child who's, because Helen was then going on saying that, people with Down syndrome have heart problems and rah, rah, rah. And this woman's responded,
sorry. Let's be clear about that. She was saying, and this is a broad sweeping, I think, 1950s diagnosis, that every child that has been born with Down syndrome has heart conditions. So the fact that she's even on the team is dangerous to her health and could end up in her death.
That's
This person is ignorant.
misinformed
Continue.
information. That's so bad.
Yeah, continue, Luke.
okay, so this woman, yeah, she just said, like, not every child who is born with Down syndrome has a bad heart. That is a bald-faced lie you keep telling yourself. Personally know someone with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. That now 37 years old. And he's my brother. My soon-to-be husband also suffers with disability, so she's gone a little bit here. But she's, yeah, more or less, the fact you talk down someone who has a disability shows just what kind of black-hearted person you are. God help your soul because you're going to need it. And then the last one.
And I love this last one. This last one's amazing.
Last comment. Helen, listen here, fucker. How dare you say she's a serious athlete? My daughter also has Down syndrome and is a world champion competitive gymnast. Nobody is saying Morgan should be made a flyer, but she could be if she wanted to. However, she is part of the team and has every right to have her photo name included in the yearbook to acknowledge all her hard work during the year. News, it's not 1920. People with disability can and do achieve great things in all walks of life, including the sporting arena. Now go to several seats because you're just sounding like a disgusting flog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on. That I have my suspicions that Helen may just be a troll account because I investigated and there's literally one photo of Helen on her account and no information.
There's a lot of boomers only have one photo.
Well,
The ideas that person is spouting are so backwards and heinous and just uneducated, and it reeks like, are we in the 1950s?
yeah. Or
That's what it smells like. It smells like, oh, don't talk about her. She's a little bit backwards. So, like, did we step into a time machine this week and go? That's why I've named this episode.
Was that Mae
I'm
West
sorry. What
saying that?
record is it?
Oh, she's
Like-
got Down syndrome.
That kid's got hippies in a gibbet. Like, what year is it? Like, I don't understand how people can still, in this modern day, think that something like Down syndrome is going to affect someone so negatively that they're going to be a danger to themselves and others in a team sport in high school. Like, what?
Yeah.
My brain doesn't understand that. Sandy, help me understand.
No, just ableist vitriol. It's just disgusting. Yeah, look, I think hearing and seeing that just makes you lose faith, doesn't it? And I think that there's been so many social movements geared towards deinstitutionalization of people with disabilities, looking at people with disabilities as differently abled, and looking at their ability. differently. So I think that that's something that person hasn't taken on board, and they sort of didn't jump on that train. And yeah, the 1950s, when we were sort of, I think, very progressively looking at how disability resonates in society. So, but then again, I'm not surprised. I'm so not surprised. These are those people that Luke was talking about right at the start of the show that just want to be keyboard warriors just for the fuck of it, and that's what they'll do.
And look, I want to specifically to all the people who responded to Helen. I mean, I know a lot of people piled on, were swearing at her and stuff, but it's good to see that the majority of people coming from a place and that they came to the defense of this girl.
Thank you out there in Uncensored Radio Land.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's lovely that you are
restoring our faith.
But look, Helen's obviously part of the generation that COVID was supposed to wipe out. Just didn't get to her first.
She might not be. She might be young.
She's a COVID, also known as Cultural Reset 2.0. It's like
now we're being ageist.
Come on, Steve.
Look, if COVID didn't take care of Helen, AstraZeneca should have. So
I was at the hospital today, and two people in front of me who were both younger than me had a conversation about when are we going to be able to take off these ridiculous, stupid masks? And I'm thinking, this is a hospital, kids. Believe in science here. And they were both younger than me, so it's not just the boomers.
And were they people that could ably walk out of that hospital and not have to stay there and have treatment?
Were they staff or patients?
One was staff and one was patient.
See, there you go. Like for the people that actually have to stay within those walls to fucking stay alive, it is a very different situation just because you're uncomfortable wearing a mask.
Now,
so suck a dick, basically.
I'm
in a bad mood today, aren't I?
No, quite aggressive. It's like you've taken on Jeffrey's aspects as well.
I've absorbed Jeffrey into me. It's very. He's speaking to me. It's like The Exorcist. Would you like to speak to your mother, Caris? Very exciting to me. Very exciting to me. It's a lovely day for an exorcism. All right, let's talk about something happier and a bit more fun. Hey,
sure.
Sesame Street.
Oh.
So Sesame Street is marking Pride Month by showing a type of family that has never been seen in the 51-year history of the iconic children's television show. The show shared an episode last week called Family Day that features a married gay couple of two dads with their daughter, a dad named Frank, played by Alex Weissman, and a dad named Dave, played by Chris Costa, along with daughter Mia, played by Olivia Perez. Join the neighborhood family that surprises Big Bird at a party.
Well,
okay.
Yay.
What was you, right? Oh, look, Mike has something to say. Mike is raising his hands. He gets to go first.
Two things that struck me immediately about this. Number one, finally the crackers here can stop bitching about Bert and Ernie because they've got real gay guys to be pissed off about. And number two, why the hell did they have two actors? You couldn't find a real family to be on the show?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Sesame Street is the paragon of acting. You know what I mean? You couldn't find a real family of two dads and their kid to be on the show to celebrate inclusion?
Patrick Harris and David Burka might have done it.
Yeah, you could have gotten real professional gay actors with kids. Yeah, okay.
Can we talk about the fact that I nearly said romper room. Hello. Sesame Street is not afraid to tug at those heartstrings. Did you ever see that episode where they told Big Bird that Mr. Hooper died?
Yes.
That shit fucked up. Like,
it was a good episode.
You don't need to see a sad giant yellow bird. That's not cool. Like, I'm not down with that.
They've been challenging hot topics for a long time.
I know, but see,
TV show to feature people of color, even though they were Muppets.
It's not just A is for Apple.
The thing is, everyone was upset about these guys, right? Everyone was so upset about Bert and Ernie possibly being gay, and then they came out and said, "No, they're not gay. They're just friends." When the true couple has been hiding in plain sight for years.
Who were they? Hit us.
Oh.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
That's
Two.
realistic too, because that long together
Two.
would make you that.
2 single, long-term bachelors, well-dressed, that go to the theatre all the time, and their
And have a
main
private bar.
source of joy is making fun of people. There's some queens up in this house.
Welcome to the
Sackler
bear
and
bar.
Waldorf. And what a great advertisement for a long-term relationship.
Yes. I think so.
Statler and Waldorf, I am putting that conspiracy theory out there.
I am
Oh,
I've never seen. They've never had females up there with them. It's always been
Never.
those two together in their suits, being nasty queens. They're missing a mimosa.
Oh,
and some
no, they used to
ketamine.
call Miss Piggy Bacon all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, not nice. Fat
Statler and
shame.
Waldorf.
And have you
Nasty
been around
old
a group of
queens, that's
who
it.
didn't fat shame?
Nasty old queens. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But all right. So on the opposite side of the scale, like Sesame Street is doing some amazing things, there's some drama around the new Pixar movie, Luca. Now, Luca tells the tale of a friendship between two young male sea creatures, come humans, who must endeavor to keep who they truly are a secret in fear of being scrutinized by the public, by the general public. There's people saying that this is blatant queer coding, and the children, somebody please think of the children. Does it matter in 2021? It's not like they're...
Sure it does. You don't want the kids to catch the gay.
Well, yeah, true.
Look,
True.
I think whatever cartoons do, who really cares? Like, you know, people want to get offended at things. How about getting offended by Ariel changing everything about herself to try and fit in? Like, you know,
Or Beauty and the Beast, Stockholm Syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid,
Exactly.
for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Snow
Don't
White
know
with the
with sexism and
non-consensual kisses.
misogyny, but yeah, unreal.
But I think any kind of representation in the modern day is a
But
win.
that one's so
right?
vague, though, anyway. Little kids aren't going to be looking for that kind of subtext. They're just going
I
to be
know,
watching the sea creatures that become people. Like, I don't know. I think some people have too much time on their hands. They get offended about things
Yeah.
that they probably could be spending that time doing something more productive.
I think we need
Podcast.
to spend more time representing male friendships. I think that, you know, part of the toxic masculinity in our culture is that we don't let men be emotional.
This
them be
actually
boys.
doubles back to Sandy talking about the men's shed. That's an organization that encourages
Let these
friendship.
little boys express emotion. Let them be.
But even look,
And why
even
even sexualize it?
Yeah.
but even if it is, even if they are gay kids, isn't it better for kids at that age to see themselves represented in mainstream
Well,
media
yes.
than to go through what generations of people have gone through before them, going, there's something wrong with me because I can't see myself put up on screen, and be told that that's okay and that's all right. Like, even if it is a gay allegory, who gives a fuck? Like,
Well, they're
if you
kind of
don't wanna
doing
watch
that
it,
a lot now,
don't
like
watch it.
ABC
It's on
here.
It's on Disney Plus, mate. No one, like, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use Mike's word here, crackers. I think the crackers need to understand that there's so many diverse kind of representations of everyday life in all kinds of entertainment, and this is just a slice of that pie. And it's not like it's going to take over the whole thing. I just think it's a truer representation of the diversity that is truly actually out there. I mean, they can avoid it all they like, but it's out there, and there is different people everywhere. With, you know, different lifestyles, you know, and doing their life how they want to, you know, so it's their prerogative. Oh, that was a Britney slip.
Oh, she's coming.
I was
She's
just
coming.
about to make- A said I was just about to make. Nothing turned us straight, you know.
Yes, it
I
did. Bonanza.
Vera,
Remember?
Bonanza, Bonanza.
Actually, it was Xanadu that turned me straight.
Just made me know I was.
All right, now speaking of past glories and current attitudes, people are all on Rita Moreno's ass now. So, West Side Story legend Rita Moreno has issued an apology after defending In the Heights director Lin-Manuel Miranda against criticism that the film does not feature darker-skinned people more prominently. Recently, she has also confessed criticism to her own discomfort at the darkening of her features through makeup whilst filming the 1961 musical classic, which is West Side Story, for those of us that aren't homos, with the film's makeup artists asking, "What, are you racist?" So Rita's statement reads, "I'm incredibly disappointed with myself. While making a statement in defense of Lin-Manuel Miranda on the Colbert Show last night, I was clearly dismissive of Black lives that matter in our Latin community. It is so easy to forget how celebration for some is a lament for others."
Well, I think that
I
cancel
got
culture,
some stuff to
toxicity.
say. I do have
Vera
some
wants to
stuff
say. Go.
No, Vera.
Go, Vera.
First of all, I gotta say, Lin-Manuel Miranda stepping up and apologizing for this, I don't think he should have had to. I think that this man has done more for representation in musical theater. He made the founding fathers people of color and put rap and made this very accessible and brought out the immigrants in the founding fathers. I mean, Hamilton deserved the Pulitzer. And he's not a racist or a bigot. I get that the Afro-Latino community, especially in a place like Washington Heights, where In the Heights is set, feels like they were underrepresented. But there were definitely Afro-Latinos in the dance troupe. There were Afro-Latinos in the chorus and in the neighborhood. I get that they wanted more Afro-Latinos to be front and center. But that being said, there has always been a subtle racism in the Latino community where Mexicans look down on Puerto Ricans or Puerto Ricans look down on Mexicans, where light-skinned Hispanics get treated differently than dark-skinned Hispanics. That's all there, and we as a community do need to own it. But making Lin-Manuel Miranda the bad guy after he put out these two inclusive works of art that really do represent diversity in our community is going too far.
But like you're gonna go for Rita Moreno, who is like one of the first major visibly Latina actresses, right? She was like you're gonna go for her? Like I don't
think you should go for her or for Lin-Manuel Miranda. But
I think you should go for. Well, keep your opinions to yourself, really. But we're not in that modern age, are we?
Well,
I think
yeah.
this goes back to really inappropriate applications of critical race theory and looking at everything just through that lens. And you miss so much else. I mean, that's what I think Vera was saying, is you're missing the good stuff. And with that heavily critical lens. So, and I think this is something that's coming up more and more around cancel culture and, people being censored, just because of this kind of emphasis on looking through one lens. And I think critical race theory is just one way to look at things. And it's definitely enlightening for, I think, where we're going as a generation now. But I do think that there are some limitations as well, just from an academic perspective, on where that goes and what that does to a society when you only look at things through that lens. So, yeah, that's kind of what I picked up from it.
It just seems like I get both sides of the argument, but we can't just celebrate the fact that this has happened. Like, everyone's in a rush to get to the end of, like, everyone wants this utopian society and where everyone's all inclusive. Right. That's not how the world works. Like, look at history.
We're not going to all evolve at once.
It's not going to happen like this. There are huge strides happening for, sexuality gender fluidity, race, all this kind of stuff. There's still so
Wilson
far to
state
go. Though
loss.
you can't negate the process because you want the end result so badly.
Yeah. You got to go through the process. That's the part where all the learning happens, you know.
It sounds like we're 12-stepping our way, isn't it? Doesn't it? Like, we gotta trust the process, guys.
When you
sit with that discomfort.
when you criticize the product, you negate the gains that the product made. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like In the Heights is a groundbreaking musical, you know, and it's joyous and it highlights gentrification and problems in our society that get overlooked and swept under the rug and have for years. But yes, when you jump to that big immediate flaw, no Afro-Latino representation, you negate all the other positives in that piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we've buried the lead for too long. It's time to talk about it because it's in the news. She's on my shirt. We got to talk about Britney because we talked about burning bridges before. She didn't go into the courtroom, let's be honest. She phoned that courtroom and she was unstoppable. And
Have you guys all listened to it?
If you haven't listened to it,
earlier.
we're talking about her deposition in the conservatorship case. As a fan, a long-time fan, it puts me in two minds. Like, I'm super proud of the girl that she has. She's a woman. She's older than me. And we've got to get out of that. Got to get out of that as well. She's a woman. But she's finally stood up, been able to speak up for herself and put it out there. But you go, we're all complicit in this as well. The whole world is, because anyone that's ever bought into the brand, that's watched the music video, that's
people getting photos,
bought a CD, that's bought it, bought a T-shirt, went to Vegas. It puts us in a very weird and icky situation. I want to just go through some points really quickly before we start the conversation about it. If you haven't listened to the deposition, the whole 23-minute thing is actually on our Facebook page. It's very easy to find. But here's a few choice articles. So this is Britney just talking about the court hearing. She said, "After I've told the whole world I'm okay, it's a lie. I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm depressed. I cry every day. It's my wish and dream for this to end. I want my life back." This is one of the more disturbing moments that I found. "I have an IUD in my body right now that won't let me have a baby, and my conservators won't let me go to the doctor to take it out." We'll keep moving.
Yeah.
"I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told with the conservatorship I was not able to get married and have a baby, obviously, because of the IUD. So she's not even allowed to, get married." So this blew my mind a little bit. Britney Spears said she was forced to take lithium against her will. "You go mentally impaired if you stay on it longer than 5 months. I felt drunk. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mum or dad or anything." That was because she refused to basically comply with stuff. This is an amazing statement. "I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. There are thousands of abusive conservatorships. They need to be reminded that they actually work for me." There's a couple more. "When it wants to work with me. They've done a good job in exploiting my life, so I feel like it should be an open court hearing, that they should listen to what I have to say. A lot has happened to me since 2 years ago, and I don't think I was heard at any level when I came to court the last time." Two more. "All I want is my own money and for this to end, and for my boyfriend to be able to fucking drive me in his car. And honestly, I want to be able to sue my family." Woo! She wasn't even allowed to choose her own attorney. I think the first thing that we should even look at is the fact that this girl is paying both legal teams. She's paying for her defense, and she's paying for opposing counsel. How does that even work?
Right.
How
Well, and there is this very basic issue of she has continued to work throughout this conservatorship. She has been performing,
support
and all of her
hundreds
money-
of thousands of people.
all of the money that she's been earning isn't hers. You know, there's a subtle slavery here that
Oh, definitely.
you know,
Like the fact that she refused, so because she was served with legal papers when she came off stage for her last show of the Piece of Me residency. She came off stage, they handed her legal documents and said, if you do not sign these legal documents to go on a tour, then we, as your management, can sue you personally for breach of contract. So when she did agree to do it, and then she did the tour and was signed up for another Vegas residency called Domination, ironically. And when she disagreed with a dance move that she didn't want to do, that's when they changed her medication from antidepressant medication to lithium.
well,
It's,
if they're
it's-
using it as chemical restraint, that's highly illegal,
Like, is this Francis Farmer?
right?
Like, did we slip back into the 1940s where she's got the vapors and stuff and she has to be put away? Because she was put away against her will. She created and paid for her own rehab, $60,000 a month to have people watch her 24 hours a day. She was not allowed her own phone, license, passport. There was no door on her bedroom. She was watched while she was showered and she got changed. She was forced to work. Like, how does this happen to a celebrity in modern day? Like,
Happens to regular people all the time.
I know, but
Every
someone
day.
that is...
Yeah.
How
Well,
is
wouldn't you agree that Britney Spears is one of the wildest acting celebrities you've known? I mean, it's clear that she's compulsive, immature. I mean, she's like 30 years immature for her age. It seems like she's way emotionally underdeveloped. She's had issues her entire career. And I like Britney Spears. I had the first album, but I'm just saying.
I
she's
would
a train
argue...
wreck.
I would
does
argue
that
that
mean she
those are
Go ahead.
outdated ideas from 13 years ago when this conservatorship was put on her for a good reason. For her, well, apparently for a good reason, for her own mental health, for her safety, for her financial welfare, because she was, as Jeffrey says, she was blowing through millions upon millions of dollars on random
and acting
stuff.
out. I mean, there
And
is still
acting out.
footage of the acting out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm curious about why someone does this. You know, what's this in retaliation to? What is she retaliating to? We all look at it as a breakdown. And then, you know, she's pathologized for it. She's disordered. She's mad. She's hysterical. And this is what happens to women in society. They retaliate against the oppressive structures in their life. Look at Britney's history. Look at what she's brought up with fame and parents who've enforced that on her. And, you know, for me, the Britney breakdown was something that I felt was totally necessary for her to go through. She should have been treated with dignity, respect. There should have been trauma-informed care provided for her because she's
Exactly.
responding very normally to trauma. It's trauma.
Sandy, the one thing that I can't get out of my head, and it was about that head shaving incident. The reason that she said that she did it is she said she didn't want anyone touching her anymore.
Yeah, where does
Like,
that come from? You know,
That,
it's
that's that gives me
some kind of
goosebumps
sexual
thinking
abuse.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
that gives me the heebies. Like, ugh.
Look, and I think actually no, but Mike made a point about, you know, she does come across as that immature and that, but that's because I think she was able to develop properly.
no,
she
not
was-
at all.
Oh, I agree. I mean, like, I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about Britney Spears, but, you know, I was a fan and I've kind of followed along and, you know, watched the Hollywood specials here and there or stuff. I would be shocked to hear that the father wasn't maybe sexually abusive or something. You know, like, she was groomed for showbiz from the time she was like a John Benet Ramsey, right? But then exploded on Disney Channel after the 4-year-old beauty pageants and everything else. I mean, talk about being set up to fail, and that would be even with a good support system. You're setting up to fail that early, and it doesn't seem like she's had a good support system ever.
No, she
Well, I
was
think
allowed to be objectified and commoditized. That is exactly what was done to Britney. And I mean,
the thing
most
we've got to
disappointing
understand.
part is the legal system. The legal system's supposed to be there to protect and provide justice, and it's done the absolute opposite, in my opinion. That conservatorship, or we would call guardianship here in Australia, has done her no favors, and that's very clearly coming out in her testimony yesterday. So, yeah.
Yeah, the thing we've got to understand though is that what we see of her life isn't necessarily true either. Someone runs everything she does. So even these Instagram posts that have been like the Free Britney movement have been focused on, saying that she's like asking for help and in like subconscious ways. None of that is actually her. We don't know what she thinks. It was very interesting to hear her speak because it wasn't that high pitch, that high pitched sex doll voice that we're used to.
Yeah.
This is the real Britney Spears that I like. That's how she used to talk back in the day.
Right.
Like back when she was a teenager, that's her real deep actual voice that she spoke with. And in that testimony, I don't hear someone that has alleged dementia. I hear someone that is desperate to tell their story. Yes, it rambles a bit, but obviously she was incredibly nervous and just wanted to get her point across. But for them to go as far as alleging that the woman has dementia, to keep her in check, making money for the Britney Spears brand that looks after hundreds of people's welfare, is disgusting. Like, she doesn't, as she said, she doesn't owe anyone anything. Like, let the girl go.
There's plenty of mentally ill people out there blowing their own cash, making their own grocery list, functioning every day. Even if she has full mental illness diagnosis, she can still run her own life and make her own decisions.
And make her own poor decisions. I mean, she's free. She should be free to lose her entire fortune if that's her wish.
Yeah.
That's
Baby,
her prerogative.
Vanilla Ice that shit. I want to see Britney. I want to see Britney doing a home renovation show in 20 years because she got no cash in her mouth. Like, that's part of the joy of it.
What happened to crying Britney fan? That's what I want to know. What's he up to? What's
he does money. He did porn and stuff, so he's fine. He's living his best life.
Oh,
he's living his best life.
He's loaded.
Chris Crock is all about it. He does porn. He does everything. He's got his own. Yeah, he's winning. We all should have been like emotional teenagers, but it'll be very interesting to see where this goes from now. I have she made a brief little statement, which I've lost because I wasn't looking at it, but basically she's buggered off now. So I don't want to be grim, but I hope that we see this a lot when celebrities, kick up, that sometimes accidents happen and they don't make it to their second cut. Like, when there's this much money involved. No, but when there's this much money involved.
Well,
I don't know. I don't trust her family.
You just saw it happen with Epstein. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody suspected that all along, and usually for the last 40 years, they did a better job of hiding it. They're not hiding it anymore. They're doing it right in front of your face.
Well, when you possibly have evidence on the president, sometimes you've got to go bye-byes. Sometimes you got to go bye-byes. All right, Vera, we have well and truly gone crazy. So we're going to go into a section that we love to call Vera Events. Any second. It didn't play the sound.
No, it didn't. You've hit the picture. That's why.
There's too many things on this bloody control panel. Vera Events. Live television. Fun. I did it twice for good measure. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Vent.
I had a totally different vent set up all week long. I've been writing it in my head. I was going to bitch about the Catholic Church, those fuckers denying Biden. How dare they get involved in American politics? And then today, the building collapses in Florida. and a bridge collapsed yesterday. And now I'm on the seat of my pants, writing an event as I speak, because if anything, does this not prove to us beyond a shadow of a doubt that our government has gone to hell? That bridge instructors and building instructors inspectors, not instructors, are on the take, and they're just taking money from our government systems, and the systems are failing us. 99 people are missing. One person known dead. A building collapsed in the middle of the night for no apparent reason. A bridge collapsed into traffic. A pedestrian bridge collapsed onto a highway. And we don't need infrastructure in this country? Are you kidding me? This system is so broken. People, call your representatives. Find out why there wasn't any building inspectors. Florida, what the fuck? You are a third world nation. You are a banana republic. Call your representatives. This should not be happening in the richest country in the world.
Absolutely right.
She done. She done. Good work.
Well
I want to
vetted.
know what a bridge. I want to know what a bridge instructor does, though.
A bridge inspector. I tried to correct myself.
Be a bridge. Be a bridge. All right. Well, we're going to close out the show with a very interesting little section. Someone posted this. I think it might have been Jeffrey. I'm not sure. The specter of Jeffrey looms large. So there's a nice little house here. In 1999, this house was worth $105K. Today, it's $490K. In 1999, teacher's salary is $65K. Today, a teacher's salary is $69K. Wow,
Yeah.
We're definitely not paying our teachers enough. But I want to jump into some real estate here. I'm going to show the Americans a little piece of slice of heaven in Sydney, and you tell me how much you think this property went for. It has no electricity, no water, no kitchen, and a partial roof. Any guess?
20,000.
Well, you guys use the barter system down there, right?
Yeah, we trade our kangaroos and gum nuts and stuff. Anyone want to guess? You two?
20K.
Anyone?
20K. That's my guess. 20,000.
I'll guess 150.
$4.7 million.
Where the fuck is it? In Queens?
In
Palace?
Kensington in Sydney. Now, Vera, this is a
Location,
house.
baby.
This is a house near you that's worth $4 million.
Yeah.
That is
It's-
lakefront,
it is
2.5
lakefront.
2.5 hectares, I believe. Has like 4 master suites. Blah 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 blah. So
Slate
no matter
throughout.
where you are in the world, things are fucked. Is the general
And
consensus.
If you move that over one lake from the lake that it's on, it's half the price.
Yeah, it's amazing. Luke and I got very into some.
Well, you
property
found
looking
some
at
other
last night.
properties, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
were
We did. So
we have-
Andy, we found one in your boom.
It's massive in Australia right now. We've got so many homeless people from the middle class. They're homeless. Like, it's a thing.
home ownership is a dream for the majority of young Australians, and I'm not even a young Australian, and I will never own a house.
Come to
Do you know
the
what I mean?
States, we could have the platonic marriage. You could own all this.
Yeah, I'm whoring myself out to get a house.
You can get
basically.
Dorothy.
All right, so
I wouldn't get
next
Dorothy,
week,
but
guys.
you could have the Tin Man in the other room.
Ooh. Next week, guys, we have the return of some very special friends of ours. So I'm just going to play a little bit of a trailer right now.
Or maybe not.
It's working for me.
No, it's working.
Right now. Rocking out.
or do
They
nothing.
move too fast.
Entertaining myself though as well.
Yeah, it's how we keep ourselves fresh. I look like I've got no hair in this angle.
So that's right, guys. Anne and Renata will be back on the show for it was
They move
actually a
much faster
fantastic
than
chat.
American ghost hunters.
They do. So they'll be back on next week, the 30th for Australians. I think obviously the 29th for Americans. I'm actually taking one for the team tonight, guys. I am headed to Maitland Jail with the ladies for a 7-hour
fun.
overnight lockdown. So Uncensored
getting some
Radio
footage.
people, I will be going live a couple of times. So if I get scared, you guys are gonna be able to see it. So Americans, it'll be nice and bright and sunny when you see it, but it'll be pitch black, freezing in the middle of the night here in Australia. Yeah, I've had a couple of experiences at Maitland Jail before, so we'll see how it goes. But
Why are you at Maitland Jail?
it's a haunted. I've done ghost stuff with
Oh.
Anna Renata.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been incarcerated.
I
or
just
have
I was
you.
like, ah,
Is he confessing to something?
yeah, I'm a criminal, but I'll never tell you why. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. All right, guys,
That girl's got funny
overtime.
eyes.
We're overtime today because we're just so amazing at our jobs. Thank you, Mike and Sandy, for joining us today. I hope you had fun.
Been a
With us going
pleasure.
on.
Thank
you for
you.
having me.
It started out scary, hey Sandy, but it smoothed out.
It's moved
Welcome to
out.
Uncensored Radio. That's how it rolls. That's how we roll. Someone's got to say something offensive, and then we all laugh, and then everything gets better. That's just how we roll. Otherwise, we will see everyone again next week. Take care. Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, I got to do it.
Oh,
Leave Britney alone. Leave her alone.